Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm going to try to answer a very loaded question. Is PT school worth it? But if this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jin and I'm a physical therapist. So if you're interested to learn more about physical therapy and what my channel has to offer, please consider subscribing and liking this video. Now, in order to answer this question, we need to first define it in the question, is PT school worth it? Is PT school worth what? Is it worth the time? Is it worth the effort? Is it worth the money? Is it worth the benefits that you will seek after graduation? And the answer is all of the above. We will talk about all those factors in today's video. Alright, so let's break this down first. Your average DPT program in the US costs about $19K for in-state tuition, which adds up to $57K for 3 years in just tuition. And your out-of-state, surprise, surprise, is going to be $37K for a year, which adds up to $111K for 3 years just in tuition. And in terms of the efforts that you put in during PT school in order to pass school and graduate successfully, you're constantly studying for exams and PBAs during the first 2 years of PT school. PBAs meaning performance-based assessments, which are basically practicals. Your final year of PT school, you're going to go through full-time clinical rotations, and you're essentially working as a full-time PT treating patients 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, and you don't get paid for this, by the way, just so you know. The longest break that we got during PT school was about 2 weeks. So like I said, you're constantly working, constantly studying. And I think the most amount of stress for me personally during PT school came from studying for the boards. The NPTE, which is the National Licensure Exam. You need to pass this exam at the end of your curriculum in PT school in order to be licensed. And you want to pass the first time. So there's a lot of pressure. So that's the it part in a nutshell. I just defined all the money, all the time, all the efforts that go into PT school. And now let's talk about the worth part. What are we working so hard for, and what are we paying so much money for? You do get an easier time finding jobs after you graduate. You most likely end up in a situation where you're comparing different job offers and going with a company that you like, as opposed to applying to 10 different jobs and hoping you hear back from 1 or 2 of them and interviewing them. So definitely an easier time finding jobs. You'll also have a lot of room to grow. If you want to become the best version of yourself, or best clinician that you can be, you'll always have room to grow, and there will always be learning opportunities out there. The job itself is also very rewarding because we get to provide value to our society, and as humans, we innately appreciate ourselves when we can help other people and serve our patients. So that's a huge bonus. You also get to meet some interesting people, and a lot of people throughout your career in school, in your career as a clinician, and just overall because you talk to people all day, every day. Is it financially rewarding? That's a bit of a gray area. The American Physical Therapy Association, APTA, reported that the average PT student comes out of school with $116K in loans. Now that number jumps up to $142K when we include the undergrad loans. Given that undergrad degree is a requirement to even apply to PT school, and most students don't have gap years in order to work, save up some money, and pay back those undergrad loans in the meantime, I think it's safe to assume that most PT students come out of PT school with $140K plus, so more than $140K in loans. Yikes. So that's the loan part. Now let's talk about when you actually start making money as a PT. According to APTA, a new grad PT with 5 years or less of an experience, the average debt to income ratio is 197%. That means you have $197 to pay off in loans every month when you're only making $100 a month as a PT. I think that's ridiculous. Now, to be fair, the article doesn't mention how long these students have to pay back their loans. If it's 10-year period, if you're trying to pay back your loans in 10-year period, you're going to have to be much more aggressive budgeting towards loan payment every month. So higher amount of money going into loans versus if you're paying it back in the span of 30 years, you have much more time, so your monthly payments can be lower and lower. So that's the ugly side. Now, the good news is there are ways to build wealth as a physical therapist. There are revenue streams that you can invest in and make wealth off of it. I think that's a little too much of information to dive into in this video, so I will make a separate video just on that, so be on the lookout for that one. So there you go. That's my answer to the question, is PT school worth it? In this video, I focused a lot on the finances. I focused a lot on what the job has to offer in terms of how much growth you can experience, the type of people that you'll meet. So those are the values that's important to me. So I think it's extremely important before you make a decision to enroll in PT school that you think about these values and try to see if PT school or PT as a profession can offer you that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask me in the comment section down below, and I'll be happy to answer them. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.